All right, we're back. Episode 2. Let's go. All right, man. Wade, Jason, you both here. I appreciate you being here. Look, let's dive right into it, man. The Pacquiao fight, man. I get, you want to still be relevant. Speaking about Pacquiao, but I mean, he wasn't super slow, but he was slow. Like it's not the early Pacquiao where like I thought he had pretty much the quickest hands in the game at one point. So he slowed down. And then when I saw him, I was like, man, he looks old. You know what I mean? So at 46 years old, he just definitely looked old to me. And I was very surprised at the outcome. I actually think Pacquiao won the fight. What do you think, Jason? I mean, they called it a draw. Like, did they save Barrios?
No, I think it was a close fight. It could have gone either way, and that's why boxers always say you can never leave it in the hands of the judges because they will. You may think you eked one out, but they'll go another way. So, it didn't look like anybody was ever in trouble. So I don't think Barrios or Pacquiao had a chance to actually finish the other guy. But to me, it was a good, exciting fight. Pacquiao looked very much above average. You know what I mean? Not great like the old Pacquiao. And like you said, I've always said Pacquiao sometimes holds his hands very low. But the way he was able to get away with that in the past was through his movement, through his legs, being bouncy, getting in and out. But he wasn't able to do that. So he took some shots from Barrios, whose whole plan was to counterpunch. Wait for Pacquiao to come in and then hit him with shots down the middle. And he was somewhat successful with that. Like I said, Barrios is an above average fighter, but he's not great. His last two fights have been draws. And then you have Pacquiao, who's looking like just an above average fighter, not like the all time great that we remember from the past. So I thought it was a good competitive fight. I'm hoping Pacquiao actually does not fight again because some of these guys that he would have destroyed in the past, Barrios, it wouldn't have even been competitive, 10 years ago. But right now, it was competitive. It was super competitive. It was a majority draw. So I don't like when people start calling stuff a robbery when it's a close fight. A close fight is not a robbery. A close fight is a close fight, you know. And it was close. Barrios did about as good as Barrios is going to do, and Manny Pacquiao is older. He's not the same guy. He doesn't have that same quickness and speed. I thought his hands looked relatively fast.
Yeah.
But again, like I told you, it's not your hands that slow down first. It's your feet. And Pacquiao showed it once again, same way he did against Ugas.
Yeah, I mean, but how should Barrios feel having a draw with a 46-year-old man?
Well, I think Barrios is, again, because he's Barrios, because he's a guy that I think lost to Keith Thurman. He's a guy that got, I think did Tank finish him? I think Tank might have finished him. And again, this is another thing you got to remember. Barrios kind of has a little bit of a reputation after the Tank fight. The question about him was, can he handle southpaws? you know, and Manny Pacquiao, arguably, one of the great southpaw boxers. So, I thought he did relatively well. I think he's going to have a above average career if he fights, five or 10 more fights. Probably if he fought 10 more fights, he'll win 8 of them. That's who he is. He's an 80% fighter. He's a B fighter. You know what I mean? So I think Barrios didn't hurt his stock at all. I think Manny Pacquiao didn't hurt his stock, but if you're looking at it from big picture all time, you're going to look back at these times and be like, why did he fight that fight?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why did he put another draw on with another middling fighter?
Yeah, I mean, it got to be for the money, right? I mean, what do you think, Wade? I mean, he had to do this fight for the money, but did he represent for the old heads?
I think he did represent for the old heads, and I feel like he should have won. I feel like it wasn't really a draw. I feel like he still, like you said, Jace, he do hold his hands low, but I feel like he still was quick with his hands. I feel like he was decent on his feet. I feel like it was a good fight. I feel like Barrios gave a little bit too much respect during the fight. He was respecting him a little too much. It seemed like he wasn't trying to hurt him. But I feel like Pacquiao did a great job to be 46. But to have a long training camp like that to prepare for this fight, to go through all that just to end up in a draw, I think it's probably time to hang it up. Unless he's going to come back out and fight Floyd. If not, I think it's time to hang it up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so sticking to boxing, we had Claressa Shields come up with that 15 mil to fight Layla. I mean, is this going to happen? What do you think? Should it happen? I mean, Layla's what? How old is she? 47, Jason?
I think she's 47. She might be 48, something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous. I know Claressa Shields. Her whole thing is she's the GOAT, which is an awkward kind of term. But either way, she's like, I'm the greatest woman of all time, or whatever. And the only person that can challenge for that is Claressa Shields. Is Laila Ali, who is, I think, 21-0. And the thing is, beating a 47-year-old fighter, I don't think does anything really for your legacy.
Yeah.
You pull somebody out of retirement. Think about it this way. I want everybody to pay attention. Laila Ali has not fought since the Bush administration. That was her last fight. Not Obama, not Trump 1, not Biden, and not Trump 2. She has not fought since the Bush administration.
She retired in 2007.
Right. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about somebody, and I mean, not even the last year of the Bush administration, like, the year before the end of the Bush administration. So we're talking about somebody who's been out of the game, who had 2 kids, who's 47, who probably hasn't been in the gym. She's been just, commenting on fighters and all of that. I don't think that this does anything for her legacy. If you really want to fight somebody, fight Remy Ma. That would really get, everybody hyped. But in reality, go out and fight, active boxers. Fight them. You know what I'm saying? Get in there and prove that you can beat the people that want to compete against you. Stop trying to dig into the past. And nobody is really saying that Laila Ali is better than Claressa Shields. I haven't heard that. Because, again, just like with Usyk, who also fought this weekend, beat Daniel Dubois, it's strength of schedule. Why is Muhammad Ali greater? Because Muhammad Ali fought better competition than Usyk, in my opinion. This is the thing with people talk about with, any GOAT conversation. Nobody says Rocky Marciano was the greatest heavyweight of all time because he went 49-0. He never lost a fight. But who did he fight? Jersey Joe Walcott? Like, Muhammad Ali was out there beating Joe Frazier and George Foreman and Ron Lyles and, and all those other fighters. Like, he was fighting in the golden era. So we look at strength of schedule in these sports, and nobody thinks Laila Ali's strength of schedule was better than Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields just wants another name on her resume. She wants, a big fight. She's Jake Paulifying her legacy, and she doesn't need to do that.
Well, yeah, she's definitely doing that. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you're 30 years old. I mean, you're 16-0. I mean, I guess there's nobody else for her to fight. But, to fight, Layla at 47 is crazy. I mean, she retired in 2007, like we said. I mean, she was 24-0. Like, why would Layla even jeopardize her legacy? I feel like a lot of people are fighting these old fighters these days. I mean, everybody's doing the Jake Paul thing. So why is this happening? Wade, I don't understand. Is it for the money? I mean, I get that. I saw that Claressa Shields' net worth is only $1 million. So, I mean, but she offering Layla $15 million? Like, what's this about?
It could be for the money. It also can be like, your idols become rivals. They grew up watching them win, as kids, and now you have the opportunity to fight them. I mean, just like the Jake Paul with Mike Tyson. I mean, I wouldn't want to fight Mike Tyson, but who wouldn't want to fight Mike Tyson and put that on their resume, So I feel like it's just one of them type of things. Let's see if it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, Wade, if they put 20 mil on the table, you wouldn't fight Mike Tyson now at 60? I'm significantly smaller, but I might do it. I saw that fight against Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? I think I might do it. You know what I mean?
Mike Tyson, man. You seen him training? You seen him training before the fight? I don't even know if that was a legit fight.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't know, man. That I don't know. I felt like he was holding back a lot. He could have knocked him out a couple of times, but he held it back.
I
To me,
thought
that's what I saw.
I thought Jake Paul was holding back. Honestly,
I
I
think
thought,
both was holding back.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think Jake Paul probably could have really put it on
I
him
mean,
you will fight right now.
for 20 mil,
12 rounds
12 rounds for 20 mil.
with Mike Tyson.
Yo, book it. You know what I'm saying? 20 mil. I'm not fighting him in the street for free.
What about you?
20 mil, yeah.
I'm
I'm
not.
taking that.
Yeah,
Are you are you going to survive those 12 rounds?
Hey, I might get knocked out, but I'm gonna wake up to 20 mil.
You might
hell
die.
yeah. No, you ain't. No, let me tell you something. A 25, even 30-year-old Mike Tyson, if you pay me 20 mil to walk into a cell and live with Mike Tyson for a month, no. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking it. I heard what he said at that one press conference. Like,
Right.
you know, I'm gonna F you till you love me. Nah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
But in a sanctioned boxing ring with a ref, you know what I'm saying? For 20 mil, yeah, I'm fighting.
20 mil? Yeah, no, I'd do it for 20 mil.
Yeah, 20? Like if you're talking 200,000, I might be like, nah, I'll make my bread some other way. But we talking 20 mil. You know what I'm saying? My kids is good. Everybody's good. You know what I'm saying? I
Brain
think
damage. Brain damage.
Yeah. Yeah. So Power Slap 14 is over. The Bell, he defended his title, knockout in round 2. It was a lot of good knockouts in the Power Slap, man. I mean, you had to tune in. You got to go watch the highlights if you didn't watch it. You know, what did you see in the Power Slap, Wade?
All right, so I got to go to my notes for this one. I don't want to mess up anybody's name. Makino Manu versus Dwayne Crespo.
Yeah, knockout.
That was knockout, third round knockout. Big Mac, 405 pounds compared to Dwayne Crespo, 265 pounds. Knocked him out in the third slap, third round. So I like how they come out, they jumping around, they getting excited like they about to have a real boxing match or like a basketball game. They getting hyped. I think this is an underrated sport that needs to get more attention.
Yeah.
Also, the flip side of that, I feel like we talked about before, I feel like somebody can die during this. And I actually looked up ways it can be fatal. Head trauma or brain injury, a brain bleed, concussion, vertebral neck injury, fractures, damage to arteries. So I do think it's a dangerous sport, but boxing is a dangerous sport. Football is a dangerous sport. So I thought it was a good set of fights on. I really enjoyed watching. That was my first time watching. I really enjoyed watching all of the fights.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I'll say, the difference between boxing and MMA is that you get to defend yourself. And in those sports, they tell you, you know, protect yourself at all times. Like, you can't protect yourself in power slap. That's part
You
of
can't protect yourself at all. I mean, you're 100% vulnerable. I mean, you're not even allowed to flinch. You have to sit still. You can't even flinch. So I mean, I think it makes it good. I mean, it's basically, can you take a slap?
Yeah, I mean, so I saw another thing that they're trying to do now where people are just leg kicking each other. Have you seen
I
this
have
sport?
seen that.
Where it's just like leg kick somebody until they like tap out
Yeah,
or fall
I'm
out.
gonna hold off on covering that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but it's basically the same concept.
Yeah.
Like I've seen another thing where this is actually kind of funny where they put two guys in a phone booth and actually make them fight in a phone booth.
I've seen that one too. I like
You
it.
know what I'm saying? That actually is kind of interesting. But it's you know, like at least in that you can kind of like protect yourself to a degree. And you know, a lot of these sports like power slap, I agree with Wade. I think we do need to have a conversation about the safety of it, the safety of the athletes. You're just totally exposed. And, you know, not getting knocked out, you know, that is just in the placement and the power of the slap. But there's nothing you can do to really train yourself for that because you can chew all the gum you want, what happens is basically your bone slaps into a nerve, and that's what makes your legs go. And in some cases, you get in the head trauma along with it. We'll see if any of these guys have a 10, 20-year career. I want to know. That's why I like Shakur. When we talk about Shakur, that's why I like him, is because, the purpose is not to be like a Gerald McClendon or a Wilfredo Gomez who can't talk and is blind and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to come out with your faculties. You know what I'm saying? So we want fighters to protect themselves, combat athletes to protect themselves. And I feel like Power Slap doesn't give you the opportunity to do that. Although I will say it is entertaining. Shout out to the guys who won. What was it, Zakir? Zakir Iron Man. I'm not even gonna try to say his last name. Those things can be exciting.
Yeah, I mean,
Darren Godfrey.
for sure. You definitely have to tune in and watch the full episode before you make some of these comments, Jason. You gotta, like I said, I tuned in, I watched the whole thing, and I was excited. It made for good TV, good watch. So some highlights I would like to say is like Dustin Poirier. I don't know. Excuse me if I messed up some of these names, but Manu, Cooper Housley, like these were good knockouts. I mean, it's entertaining. I mean, I feel bad for the guys that got knocked out. They, some of them got put to sleep, and some of them looked like they were very stunned. I hope, they got the right staff and medical staff, and I hope they got the treatment they needed. But Godfrey versus Kanokoa, that was a good one too. So I don't know. I would like to see if people can comment and tell me which ones they watched and which ones they like some of those fights. Well, not a fight, like I said. Sorry, Power Slap. But yeah, so now Dame signed a $42 million deal, 3 years. He's back with Portland. I wish he went to the Lakers, but I mean, I always felt like he was a trailblazer. I thought he would retire there, and now it looks like that might happen. What do you think, Wade?
I think it was a good move by Portland to show loyalty to their star. I know they've been communicating throughout his Milwaukee days. He still has family there, still have kids there. I think he even went there to rehab his Achilles, which caused a little issues with Milwaukee. But I think that was good. I think they did the right thing by bringing their star back home. I think he's going to end his career as a Blazer, and I think it was a good move. I would have liked to see him go to the Lakers too, but it seems like a lot of our top players are going to end up back where they started to end their career if it's not really working out where they're currently at. So I think it was a good move. It showed a lot of loyalty, and that's what we need in the NBA. Some of these owners, we hear about these owners not taking care of their players or whatever. So I felt like they did a great job being loyal to Dame.
Yeah, I feel the same way. So Jason, it's another no trade clause. I mean, these big stars are doing this no trade thing. So I guess, he's guaranteeing, if it's not up to him, he's not going anywhere. He joins LeBron James and Bradley Beal in this no trade clause, Jason. I mean, why is everybody doing this no trade?
Well, I think people want to feel settled where they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to be dealt and hear about getting traded the way Anthony Davis did, or to get caught off guard and you got to sell your house. And I think it was Anthony Davis. He found out after he had literally just bought a house in LA, and you settle roots, like Wade was saying. You got your kids in school, they're feeling good. You don't want to have to figure that out. And once you've reached that echelon where you can start to call shots, you want to say, okay, I'm here, I'm settled here. You have to build around me. You can't just ship me off because something, new and bright and shiny comes along. And it'll be interesting to see what Dame does, him in the court with Jrue Holiday, who's there, I think, and see the development of Scoot Henderson, see if he actually, turns out the way people expect him to. And see if they're able to make a run of it. I would have liked him to go to a real serious contender. And like I said, I think he's at a stage in his career where he should be like a 3-and-D guy. He should be like, the way Ray Allen was at the end of his career, go to a contender, be that guy who can get them a long range bucket, when called upon, run off a screen. Because I don't know that he's the same Dame that we remember, from Dame time and, all of that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he's still that same guy. But he can still contribute, definitely.
Of course.
And I hope he's, in a position where he can win a championship because he's a championship quality player.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely hope he put himself in a good position. I don't know how active he's going to be, but I assume he's going to start on the Portland Trail Blazers. But yeah, I think he is not going to be the Dame we saw before, because of all those injuries. But I don't know. I'm not in the gym with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a trainer like Wade, so I don't know what he's doing. But so Wade, what do you think? Is LeBron staying with the Lakers? I think he's set to make like $56 million this year with the Lakers. Is he staying?
I think he's going to stay, but it's a little shaky right now. I did see Mavericks. I did see Warriors pop up. The reunion in Dallas would be good with Kyrie and AD. I think that'd be a great fit. I did see Golden State too. But I feel like if they got LeBron at Golden State, they still would need another piece. Because I saw Jimmy for LeBron in a first round draft pick. So I feel like to go to Dallas, they would need to take AR. He would need to take AR with him to go to Dallas. Sorry, to go to the Warriors.
Lakers ain't gonna give up AR, yo.
They better not.
I know
Yeah.
I did not. But I think I saw Bronny and LeBron, obviously. And I think AR, if that was to happen to the Warriors, I think it'd be a good fit. But I feel like if LeBron went to the Warriors, I feel like they still need one piece. I feel like they've been hurting without Clay. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like without Clay, that's that one piece that they missing. It just don't seem right watching Clay with another team either. Just to me, it just don't feel right.
It don't feel right at all, man. It don't even look real. And that boy can still shoot, man. Did you see he made 72 3-pointers in a row? That's crazy. Even if it was just 72 out of 100, that would have been crazy. But my man made 72 in a row. So I don't know, man. He's still a big shooter. But Jason, I mean, the Lakers, I mean, LeBron, I know, he got Marcus Smart. Is that enough? I mean, is that going to do something? He's 31 years old. I mean, he only played 15 games with the Wizards, and he's averaging under 10 points. Is that going to keep LeBron in L.A.?
I think if Marcus Smart is healthy, he's an incredible contributor, particularly on the defensive end.
Yeah.
That dude is a dog. And everybody needs a dog that's like, all right, y'all got Steph, I got somebody for him. You know what I mean? Like, you need that kind of player. And I think Marcus Smart is that kind of player. And I just want to say, I totally agree with you about Klay Thompson still being a shooter because we see he got Meg Thee Stallion. So he definitely shooting his shot and making him. You know what I'm saying? My man, you know what I'm saying? The light-skinned dudes is winning. You know what I mean? So shout out to Klay. And like I always argue with my boys, like, Klay is the second greatest shooter of all time. Like, I know people are like, no. I'm like, no, those Warrior teams had the best shooter of all time and the second best shooter of all time. And, Klay Thompson, he's a little more streaky than he used to be. He's not as automatic. But if, Dallas were to get Bron and have Klay and have, AD and have Kyrie, if they don't win then, that would be a knock to all of their legacies. You know what I'm saying?
And they have some good bigs too over at Dallas.
Right,
and that's what I feel like that's what the Lakers are missing, a good big and a good shooter, like a solid shooter.
So wait, you don't think DeAndre Ayton is going to be enough?
Lakers?
Yeah.
I don't know. I ain't really seen him play in a while. I don't know. I mean, I think his glory days was with the Suns, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's still young though. How old is DeAndre Ayton?
I'm not sure.
I think he's under 30.
I like him.
Yeah.
I just didn't see him play last year, but I like him.
Yeah. He's not AD. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't that kind of a big. He ain't gonna match up with Joker or Embiid or Giannis. Some of these great bigs that we have in the league now that are versatile too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't fool with Bam. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like he can't fool with that level
Yeah.
big, and that's what people were expecting after he had some good years that he was going to take that leap. And I don't think he's ever taken the leap into that echelon of big man. But he can ball.
He can definitely.
Yeah, I feel like if LeBron goes to Dallas, that's the championship contending team right there.
Oh yeah,
Based on that.
Yeah, I mean, DeAndre Ayton he still has time to grow. He's 26 years old, so he's relatively young, and he got time to get work on his game, get his mechanics together. I mean, he's already a great player. I think he did great with the Suns.
Yeah.
yeah.
Jalen Green, is his head gonna be in the game, Pauls, Jason? Because you know what I'm saying, it's a lot going on right now. I mean, you know what I'm saying. It seemed like Drea is she got him tripping, or like should he stay with her? What I mean, this old head is what's going on? Like now she texted like your boy, Udoka. I mean, he got
Yeah.
some violations in his last team. Like what is he risking? He's like one of the highest paid coaches. Why is he risking this?
Yeah, I mean he's a hell of a coach. There's no question about it. But he's coach steal your girl, so you gotta watch yourself around dudes like that. You know what I mean? So I think he's a hell of a coach though. When he gets down to business, and he ain't staring at what's on the sideline. That dude is a hell of a coach. And he would have been great for Jalen Green. He would have been great for Jalen Green's career. It seems to me like he has a weakness, and Jalen Green has, probably a little bit of immaturity because he's 22. Not because he's, naturally that way. It's because he's a 22-year-old man and he's still learning and figuring it out. But if Drea was accepting, and these are all rumors, but so we don't know that this is true. And I don't want to throw smut on anybody's name, we ain't about trashing no black woman out there, or any woman, period. But, definitely not our sisters.
Yeah.
But if what is being said is true, Drea got to hold her man down a little more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If guys are sending her messages and all that, she got to shut that down.
Well, yeah. This is all speculation, and she denied the rumors. So, but I'm just saying, just hypothetically, man, Udoka, got an extension with the Rockets, $10 million. It's a long-term deal. Wade, would you risk it? I mean, it seems like he lost one bad joint already.
Yeah, yeah, that's tough, man. Yeah, he did lose Neil Long, man. If he was sending those messages, that's terrible, man. But I guess that's something the NBA has to look at with hiring young coaches, because players are young and their wives, their girls are young. I mean, we've heard these stories over the years in the NBA, man. So it's a tricky situation, like you said, with speculation. We don't know if it's true or not. I mean, that's a tough situation, man. That's tough.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know
if it matters how old the coach is, because Belichick could take your joint, no matter how old she is.
Yo, Ime Udoka ain't really that young either. He's the same age as Laila Ali. You know what I mean? He's 47. Like, so he's
I mean,
really,
40 though. With Drea 40, right? That's
yeah. I mean, he's sitting out there taking. Jalen Green is young enough to be his son.
Yeah, man.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? And he shouldn't be doing
I think she
that.
has
There's
a son.
so many.
I think she has a son that's only like 1 year older or something like that,
Yeah. Like, I feel like Jalen Green,
or younger. I mean,
but then again, age. I'll say this: age is a number. Maturity is something different. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying anything about her. I don't know her. I don't even really know anything about like why she's famous. To be honest, like I really don't. Like, what does she do?
I know she was on. I think she was on Love and Basketball. So she was with the Cowboys player. I forget his name. I forgot his name. But he was a Cowboys player. Orlando Scandrick.
Wait, cornerback.
Cornerback.
Oh, yeah.
He ended his career with the Eagles.
Yeah. Scandrick. I remember Scandrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so again, I definitely don't want to throw smut on her name if you know, and we could totally have it all wrong. I just, I hope that she recognizes that she's dealing with this young man, and you know, you gotta be careful about befriending some of his coworkers and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you definitely don't want to get the reputation like Larsa Pippen or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But the good thing is that she told him though. At least she told him, and they got up out of there though. So
yeah.
she did tell him
Oh,
because it came out. She did tell him. So you gotta respect that.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely, and I'm sure she's a good person. I'm sure all of them are. I just feel like Ime got a little, like one of his boys needed to pull him aside and be like, "Yo, calm down, bro."
It's
Like,
immature,
calm
man.
down.
It's immature.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
calm
mean,
down. Like there's Johns out there. You're Ime Udoka. What is he, like 6'7"? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm secure enough in my masculinity to say he's a handsome guy. He makes money. You know what I'm saying? He's got a lot going for him. He don't need to go for, you know,
In house,
somebody's girl that's gonna cause problems with his job. You know what I'm
especially
saying?
star player, the superstar player. You know, that's crazy.
yeah.
Right. And you just got rid of a 22-year-old superstar. You know what I'm saying? And you brought in somebody who's 36. Like, now, is the 36-year-old better than the 22-year-old? Yes, but you could really have built something down there. That was a team that was going places. And I know a lot of people are excited about Houston, but we need to see how it actually shakes out. I'm pro KD all day because he's from Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, like, they had something that was gelling. You know what I'm saying? And so Ime Udoka needs to be a little more careful about what he's doing. He may have just been like, hey, look at this funny joke, look at this meme.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to be careful in a professional
Nah,
setting.
man. Why do you
know
have
what
her
I'm saying?
number to say, look at this meme? Nah, nah, nah. He shouldn't. Yeah, he shouldn't even have her number. I mean, unless he used the emergency contact list. You know what I mean? Like Jalen didn't need any help. I don't know why he had to text him. But anyway, speaking of Maryland and 36-year-olds, Von Miller is coming to Landover. You know what I'm saying? He joins Bobby Wagner on the Commanders and defense. They ranked 13th last year. Is this 36-year-old going to make a difference, Wade? I mean, he's coming to the Commanders. I'm excited to see him.
I think so. I think Magic Johnson has done a great job with the Commanders. We've been having losing seasons for a while. So last year was a great season. Last year was great. I was disappointed how it ended, but I think he'll definitely be a good addition to the team.
Jason?
Well, I'll tell you this. One of my favorite players of all time is Cam Newton. And I think Cam Newton still has nightmares about Von Miller. He probably wakes up in a cold sweat thinking about Von Miller. And Von Miller has been pretty great this entire time. Like, he hasn't really taken a huge dive. So if he can keep that up, we've been talking this whole show about a lot of aging athletes, but he seems to still be going strong, and he brings veteran leadership to a team that's pretty young. Him and of course, now you got these other additions on offense like Debo. We'll see what this team can do. This was a strong team last year. They got their quarterback. They've got, if they better sign Terry McLaurin. Like, if they let Terry McLaurin walk or something like
They
that.
better not let him walk. They in trouble.
Terry McLaurin, to me, is the most underrated receiver in the league. He needs to be mentioned up there with Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, all of those guys. He's at least a top 10 receiver in the league. And so you got that on offense, and now you've got, Bobby Wagner, who's balling out of his mind. And now you add a veteran like Von Miller. That is a very formidable team. But you got to remember, they are in a very formidable division. You know what I'm saying? You got the reigning champs in there. And, the Cowboys, as much as I'm not a fan, the Cowboys always have a chance of playing well. You never know, because they'll pull a 13-3 season out out of nowhere. They'll lose in the playoffs, but they will, sometimes come on strong.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting. This is a really exciting season that's coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if 13-3 matters if it's a first round exit, but hey, I guess we'll talk about the Cowboys another time. But anyway, it's a viral clip of the CEO of his tech company, and he looked like he was doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing. I mean, wait, did you see the clip? What's going on? I mean, did he get caught? Is this like why did Coldplay? I know why Coldplay had him on the screen, but what made this go viral?
He got caught by the singer. That's what's crazy on the screen. Like the singer called him out during the show. I mean, I feel like you got all that money, man. Like I don't condone cheating, man. But if you're gonna cheat, man, you got cheat a little bit better than that, man. You got a concert, you booed up, you like hugging front and back, smiling, having a good old time, rocking side to side. You know what I mean? And you get put on the screen. You know what I mean? I feel like going to suite. I don't know if they were in the suite or not. I couldn't really tell, but no cameras around. You got enough money to tell people, look, no cameras around, no pictures. You right in the forefront, right there. You know what I mean? So that was a bad look, man. But I mean, I feel like it's something that goes on every day in the workplace, man. You just, work husbands, work wives. It's crazy, man. It's a scary place. Like I said, maybe I look like that's his side chick. Maybe he not happy at home. You know what I mean? Like she don't look. Let me stop. Go ahead, Jason.
Look, man. Look, I'll tell you this as an old married dude. Let me just tell you. In today's society, it ain't like it was with your granddaddy, where he was cheating with Miss Sadie for 30 years, and she was sitting in the back row of the church. You know what I'm saying? The guy you thought was your play cousin or your play uncle was really your real uncle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's not like that anymore. There's no way to safely cheat. You might as well not even try. Like, first of all, everything is online. Everybody's got a camera. Everybody's looking. Like, so him doing that, and I'm an old lefty, I'm an old lefty progressive, so F all the CEOs. So I'm cool with him, getting caught up. But it was still like, bro, you know what I'm saying? You go to the hotel, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a way to do this. And the worst part about it was a lot of guys who cheat, and I know this is going to be controversial, but a lot of guys who cheat really still love their woman. You know what I'm saying? They just want to,
something on the side.
Something new, something on the side.
And the cake and eat it too.
And and the worst part about it was he embarrassed his wife by being all out in public. Like, if you're going to cheat, don't embarrass her. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing on the side, on the low. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in pictures. Make sure this chick is really, really down. You know what I'm saying? And other employees were at the concert.
Mm-hmm.
They all knew about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. And a lot of these rich guys think they rule the world and think that stuff isn't going to come back on them. And it's like, bro, that's not how the world works anymore. We post Me Too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting away with it the way, people in the past got away with it. Now poor guys have the advantage. Broke dudes, not the Ime Udokas, you know what I'm saying? The broke dude that ain't doing nothing. He can run around the world because don't nobody care what he does. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a rich guy, you're a high profile guy, you gotta move much smarter than that.
And he lucky it lasted that long because anybody could have recorded that and sold that to TMZ. Anybody. Like you said, this camera everywhere.
For sure. Oh, yeah. See, we ain't even got to fight Mike Tyson. We got to find a CEO, take a picture, and send it to him and be like, yo, I got this. I can send this to your wife.
Right. The funny thing is, he's the one that made it hot.
I wouldn't do that.
He made it hot because I don't think that people would have noticed if he would have just kept standing there instead of ducking. Like they brought attention to themselves because it's just, I guess it was like a kiss cam or something. If they would have just been smooth about it, nobody would have saw it. You know what I mean? Unless you were at the Coldplay concert. So I don't know, man. You just when being sneaky goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I mean, but putting his hands around her waist like that was just dumb, bro. Like, that's not your lady. And you left your woman at home. She like, you were at the Coldplay concert? I love Coldplay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably bought her a ticket, went to the show with her, hugged up with her, and I'm home?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, again, he embarrassed his wife. That's the biggest sin to me. Bigger, I know people are gonna be like, "What do you mean?" But like embarrassing your wife. Like, it's one thing let me ask y'all, if y'all had your girl and she was out, and she slid with another dude, that's one thing. But if she slid with another dude and was hugged up with him and twerking on the dance floor on him, wouldn't that be worse? Like, wouldn't that just add to it, like, in a way that's, like, unforgivable?
I mean, all of it's unforgivable, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
For some people.
I'll say, yeah, for some people.
They had some public intimate moments, man. That's hurtful.
He was treating, like, it wasn't just a jump off, or something that just happened. He was treating her like that was his woman. You know what I'm saying? While his woman was at home.
And it raises the question of how long has this been going on, because they work together.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he done clapped her at the job. You know what I'm saying? They went into some meetings, some closed door meetings.
Yeah.
You know that done happen. So,
Work wife.
again, yeah. Nah, I don't like that work wife, work
I
husband.
get a sense that there was some
all that stuff.
There was some under the desk meetings, so that makes sense.
Yeah, you ain't. My wife better never use that work husband.
Nah.
Nah. I don't care if he's supposedly gay. None of that. None of that, bro.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it don't matter to me either, man. Even if he's supposedly gay, I mean, I'll make him kiss the man and show me that he gay. But we're not gonna go into all of that. Let's see. The Clips dropped the album. It was fire. If you haven't seen my review, check it out. It was I love the album. I spent most of my life in Virginia, and I've always been a fan. But they got beef with Travis Scott, man, and I took a listen before I even knew they had beef. I took a listen to Travis Scott's album and I cut it off. It was asked to me, so I don't even think Clips should respond. They should just forget it. But the whole beef started with a song that Travis Scott didn't tell Pusha T about having Drake on, and supposedly the Drake verse dissed his boy For Real, and they go hard for Real. A lot of Virginia does. So is it worth the beef? I mean, should they respond to Travis? I mean, I feel like they big right now. Wade.
Nah, I don't feel like they need to respond. I think their album is doing good. I think I saw it sold 160,000 first week. So I feel like there's no need to respond. I mean, I saw an interview where the interviewer asked them, Pusha T and his brother, about Travis Scott. And he was like, who is that? So that was
I saw that.
That was their response right there. You know what I mean? But I mean, you can't do that, man. Like, Pharrell, their guy, that's like family. That's probably family to them. They from Virginia Beach. So how you gonna have a song and take off Drake verse and don't let them hear the Drake verse when Pusha T and Drake, what they going through? Come on, man. So
yeah,
they don't got.
Mm-hmm. They all family. I mean, being from Virginia. I mean, from the first hit, Jason, grinding, like that was For Real that made the beat. He produced that. So I mean, you know how it was back in the day, listening to grinding and the Clips. Like, what you think?
Yeah, you trying to call me old again, but I would say, and one thing I gotta give a shout out to my man Malice, because the way he reacted was always classy. He was like, yo, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't about the rap beef anymore. He's definitely grown beyond that. But yeah, they clearly didn't like dissing Pharrell, and Virginia as a rap community, the whole state was really united at one point. I always joke because I was doing my thing in the music business for a little while, and I can tell you it was always funny. All the rappers from Virginia rapped about being from Virginia. And Maryland dudes never did that. You know what I'm saying?
It's because Virginia doesn't get talked about. That's why.
Virginia always rap, and I'll be like, "Yo, I seen your crib. You live in a big ass McMansion, like behind a man-made lake." But you know, they were all like, "I'm from Virginia." You know what I mean? But so I thought that was dope that they really built that kind of community, and the clips were, you know, a sense of pride for, you know, Virginia artists. And I really think the album is dope. What they're doing is dope. I think they should focus on them and not focus on whatever Travis Scott is doing. Travis Scott, I didn't even know he still made music, to be honest with you. I thought he was in that living that Kardashian life now. I didn't know he was really, you know, going heavy with the music. And you know, Virginia, everybody like Skills and you know, Missy and Tim. Yeah, like all of those dudes, they had a really dope community that they built.
Yeah.
Out there in Virginia. And I think, you know, the clips are now coming back to show that Virginia still has something to say, and I think that's dope.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Virginia has a lot to say, man. Don't get it twisted, man. It's some nice places, but it's also some places that's tough in Virginia, man. You know, it's not a lot of soft dudes in Virginia, man. So you know, and then, you know, some of the newer artists like Young Mo, man, he was holding it down for a while too. It's just that we don't have a lot of artists that go viral. I mean, I feel like it's still the crabs in the bucket thing, especially, you know, because we're so close to the DMV. At least the northern half of Virginia is very close to the DMV. But yeah, I mean, there's some tough places out here in Virginia for sure. Um, None of them dress like Lil Baby though. Wait, did you see that pic, man?
So it, man. I love Lil Baby, man. Yeah, he got the thigh tattoos with the hoochie daddies on, man. I think he too much of a gangster rapper to fall into that trap, man, trying to show his thigh tattoos off. But like I said, it is what it is, man. Like I couldn't believe, was that real? Was that really him? Was that real?
I don't know. I mean, you know, AI's out there these days, but you know, I did see him. Wasn't he going to the Diddy parties? Maybe that's why he dressed like that now. I don't know. Would you dress like that, Jason?
You know, I don't have the legs for Hoochie Daddy shorts. I need to holler at Wade to get my legs in shape. You know, but hey, there are tough guys who wear all kinds of clothes nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I seen some gangster dudes wear some stuff that I'm like, what?
Nah, but Jason, the thing was though that he never had tattoos, so he always took pride in saying he don't do tattoos, he don't do none of that. So he got 2 thigh tattoos. I don't know if you saw the picture. He had 2 thigh tattoos, so he had the shorts really low to show off his tattoos while he was performing.
Oh God, yeah.
It wasn't just him wearing hoochie daddies; it was the hoochie daddies that show off the thigh tattoos.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like any of that kind of, you know, the hoochie daddies, or, you know, I'm a no tattoo guy, but I respect guys with you know, real artful tattoos on them. I thank God that I wasn't one of those dudes that got one of those scratcher tattoos when I was a teenager. I knew a lot of guys who have tattoos that just look like big black blobs of ink on them now. But yeah, I mean, I'll say this. I saw, what's the Mexican dude? Mexican OT or whatever? He came out with Barrios.
Yeah.
For the fight. I seen that dude in some, I mean, they look like Daisy Dukes. Like, not even hoochie, like, straight up. And he had on cowboy boots with him. I was like, bro, yo, you straight up looking like, you know what I mean? Like, you really gonna start twerking out here. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So,
Wow.
But Bobby, you know how it is, man. When you get a tattoo, man, you gotta let it breathe. You gotta put that Vaseline on it. So maybe he couldn't have no clothing rubbing it. So maybe that's why he had the hoochie daddies, man. We gotta give him the benefit of the doubt, man.
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, you know, I wouldn't count anything out, to be honest, but I don't know, man. It just looked like a extra cut too high to me. That's what I'm gonna say.
Look like boxer briefs.
For sure. You know, I mean, I personally wouldn't wear anything like that. I don't do the hoochie daddy shorts or any of that. I don't care what tattoos I get. I'm not going that far.
Yeah.
Thanks, fellas. I mean, we're wrapping up here. I appreciate y'all, man. You know, Jason always dropping the knowledge. Wade always dropping the knowledge, giving the stats. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for joining me.
No problem, man. It was a great show, man. Second show. Keep checking us out. Thank y'all for the
Yeah,
support.
what you got in front of you?
Like and subscribe.
Oh, I have, so I'm an ambassador for Sip and Share Wines. Different brands. The red wines are really good. One of my favorites is Love. So if y'all get a chance, go to sipandsharewines.com. Use my code WADE25, get a discount.
Nice. You drink wine, Wade? Jason?
Nah. I drink Magateers, but I'll just say this: like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you keep watching the content that we're putting out there. We're doing things that a lot of other people aren't doing. I know there aren't a lot of people out there talking about Power Slap. So definitely check us out. Tell your friends to tell a friend. Peace out.
Thank y'all.
Bet. See y'all Friday.